Welcome back to the Dex and Randi Show, the number one show for going through the ups and downs of life. Stay tuned. You're coming up next. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Dex and Randi Show. I'm your host, Dex. I'm excited, as always, to have you guys here back with us for another episode of our podcast. Hope you guys are feeling good, looking good, treating yourself good. I know my wife is looking good. You know what I'm saying? What's up, man?
Hi, everyone. My name is Randi, and I am the co-host of the Dex and Randi Show.
Hey, Randi. Hey, you know what? Randi's been doing a whole lot of different things with her hair now. You know what I'm saying? I love it. For all you ladies that like spruce it up a little bit, switch it up, us fellas, we appreciate that. You know what I mean? Trying new styles and stuff. I want you to try to describe this latest trend you're doing with your hair right now.
So I have a signature style. I consider it a signature style with the two cornrows to the back.
Yeah.
It's actually part of our cover for the
Mm-hmm.
podcast, the cartoon drawing. I have my hair like that. Then I just been adding a little curl to it. That's
Yeah.
all. A little soften it up a little bit.
It's like luxurious though.
You like it?
I like it. You know what I'm
Thank
saying?
you.
Because you got the curls so you got the base two braids, but then you got the curls in the back and the
Yeah, it's in
curls
the
in the
braid
front.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, it puts
Yeah.
a little pop on it. You know what I'm
Thank
saying?
you.
And I like your outfit today. It's like athletic, but it's sexy. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
It's
thank you.
soft. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
good quality. Look like good quality. Like I see, like you got your little green in your sneakers with the green. You know what I mean? I appreciate the continued effort you be putting in to look good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
I
wasn't
do.
sure if I was gonna put this on today though,
Why not?
because it's showing a lot of like it's fitting. Like I'm fully covered, but
Yeah,
it's showing all my curves. Like it's tight fitting.
that's what's up.
So I
That's what's up.
said,
We
let me
need
do it
that.
for my
We
man.
need that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? You came to the game early today looking good. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So what's up though? You know what I mean? Before we jump in.
Oh yes. Before we jump in, this episode and all episodes are sponsored by Basden Accounting LLC. That's Basden Basden Accounting LLC, where we offer accounting and advisory services, payroll services, tax services, whatever you need for your business, we can service it in so many ways. Even somehow we have ended up in the HR and the human resource bucket. We'll keep you posted on how that's going. But honestly, if you have a business, you need us to help you not only put together financial statements for the past, but make plans for your future. We know what your financials look like. We know how much money you're bringing in, how much money you're spending, and what do you want to do with that money? How do you want to protect that money? How do you want to grow your business? Do you want to work less, maybe hire some employees? What are your goals? Do you want to build an app? We can help you with all of that. So, basinaccounting.com is sponsoring this episode.
Hey, hold up, yo. Hold up. Let me find out. I need you to do the drops. I need you to do the drops for the business. I'm ready to give you some business. You know what I mean? That's crazy. You just went in your bag right there. You just really went in your bag. Like, that's crazy.
That's what we've been
That's
doing.
what we're doing. You know what I mean? But look
Yeah.
how much more confident you are just talking about what we do. Because we do all of that. Look at that. You
Yeah.
felt that. You went to a place just now.
Thank you. I
Now, if
did.
y'all heard this, you need to make sure, don't just be listening. You need to be signing up, reaching out on Instagram, stop playing, get your finances right, get your business right. You know what I mean? But Randy, I love that. That was all that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Basicaccounting.com. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? How business has been, how life's been, how's your week been? What's up with you?
Week's been good. Yeah. Week's been good.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's two major things that happened this week.
Okay.
Number one would be I took my no, we.
Yeah.
We
Thank
took
you.
our son to speech therapy and it was cool.
Mm-hmm.
They did a consultation and um it was it was just interesting. She sat and did a thorough questionnaire
Mm-hmm.
survey on where he was with his milestones and what kind of things is he saying, doing. Like that was probably like 30 minutes. And then she spent another 45 minutes observing him play or watching him play, playing with him. And then afterwards she gave us some input and he's going now twice a week. So I
Mm-hmm.
took him to his first lesson.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
You
it
need to
was,
tell me how the first lesson went, but I want you to hold off on that
yeah, yeah,
though.
yeah.
Yeah, but
Don't
nah.
tell you? You
No, I
want me to
want to
wait?
know, but I
Oh.
want to when it comes to the consultation, I do need to say something about that because listen, if anybody ain't listened to our podcast before, we have a son, a younger son is about to be 3 soon, but he has some developmental delays and we're not sure what that is yet, what it means yet. We know what it could be, we know what it might not be, you know what I'm saying? But even if it is, whether it's autism or whatever, like we're prepared for it, we're ready for it, we love him, he's a blessing to us. But this was such an eye-opening experience for me going to this consultation because maybe y'all could relate, but whether it's your child, your spouse, or whatever, you be around people all the time. But sometimes certain environments make you really sit down and focus and pay attention and spend a lot of one-on-one time. You know what I'm saying? So for
Mhm.
me, when we went to do his consultation, I recognized like that 30 minutes or whatever that she was sitting on the floor playing with him. That's the most that I've sat down in one spot and like just watched him play.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And it was really eye opening for me because I recognized, like, yo, I ain't really done this. Like, I see him playing in the living room and stuff like that. I watch him for half a second and then I go do something. You know what I mean? Like, it's just part of the environment. But
Mhm.
like, the whole environment was focused on him for
Mhm.
like an hour straight,
Mhm.
you know? So when we're sitting there watching him play, it was very eye opening to like the things he can do and the things that he wasn't doing. You know what I'm saying? And it didn't make me sad or anything, but it just made me aware, like, oh, okay, well, he's clearly happy, he's engaged, he likes this type of toy. Like he's responding to certain toys and like certain gestures and stuff like that. But then certain instructions he's not following. Certain things she really wanted him to do, he wouldn't do. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? And you know, playing with toys a specific way. I was like, oh, he does play, but he not playing with it in a specific way.
Right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? He's not taking the car and making it go vroom and ride with it, but
Right,
he's
right.
playing with the car. You see
Right,
what I'm
right.
saying?
Yeah.
But I was learning so much about him, and it kind of made me think, you know, that I want to be more involved to help him pick up things. You know what I'm saying? And then the other part was we had to answer a lot of questions, you know, and I know for a while, at least for me, when she's asking like, "Well, is he doing this?" and the answer is yes, but then it's like, "Is he doing this?" and the answer is no. You know what I'm saying? Like, is he? Well, I don't know what the word is, but is he basically making like verbal sounds and stuff? And we was like, yes, but is he making more when he wants things specifically? Then we had to say no. Like, you see what I'm saying? It just had
Yeah.
me thinking like, I just learned a lot. You know what I'm saying? And just going through the process, I just felt like I got to learn more about my son. I was real proud of what he does, you know, but I also recognize like we got a journey ahead. But it's all good, you know what I'm saying? But for anybody that's, you know, been through this or has experience with it, you know, your children mean everything to you. And you have to tap in and learn and be present and help them through every battle in their life. You know, ours right now with one son is developmental delay. Somebody else might have another battle with their child. But like, what's your job as a parent? To be present, to fight for them and fight with them. You know what I'm saying? That's what we did in the
Mhm.
consultation. So I'm glad that I went.
Yeah,
You
me
know, I
too.
took the time off. I'm glad you didn't have to do that on your end because that ain't something for you to do alone. I'm supposed to. I need to know this information just as much as you because we a team. You feel me?
Yeah.
So that was nice. And now we signed him up. Right? He's getting
Mhm.
twice a week.
Yeah.
So what was it like when I weren't at his first official session? So what was that
Yeah,
like?
it was good. So she did a lot. She still did some observing, but she
Mm-hmm.
was showing him like how to put things in like the box or in the toy.
Mm-hmm.
And these are things that he does at daycare
Yeah.
as well. So I noticed that he was resistant at first. I guess he had to warm up, but he did some of the things. But then also like some of the goals were she wants him to learn how to clean up. She wants him to stop throwing things.
Mm.
So she was like saying, like every time he would throw something, she'd say, "No throwing." It's like her tone. Like when he
Right.
was putting
Right.
stuff in, like she was like repetitive.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the other thing I wanted to say? Oh, so sometimes like when I'm trying to show him something and he gets upset and frustrated,
Mm-hmm.
I'll stop. I'll be like, okay, well, he doesn't want to do it. Well, she pushed through. He was getting upset, hand flapping, and she was like, come on, we're gonna pick it up. And she sat there with him and just pushed through it with him. And I was like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay, so that's what I need to do. Because
Yeah.
if he starts to get upset, sometimes I back off.
Yeah.
But she pushed right through it and she showed me that you can push through it and this is how you do it.
That's what's up.
Yeah. And then so my cousin had reached out to me and told me because she has a son that's autistic and he was in speech therapy when he was a little lad.
Mm-hmm.
And she said that the stuff that they do with speech therapy repeated at home. So I need to definitely sit down with you. We probably need to get some different toys,
Mm-hmm.
but we need to
So was it just her tone that was different, or was she saying like specific things? Because you like, I know like I definitely don't know what to do when he gets like frustrated and that
mhm.
kind of thing, and we just kind of give him space to
Yeah.
get through it. So
Yeah.
like, did she just say specific things, or was it just did she just keep doing the same thing and just said it like more understanding or something like
It
that?
was the same thing, but it wasn't long sentences. Like so
Okay.
anytime he get up, right? She say the same thing every time. What do you see? What do you see? And then he'll grab something and then she'll say, "Play? You want to play?" Like it wasn't full on sentences.
Mm-hmm.
And then like he'll pick up something and she'll say, green truck, vroom, vroom, vroom. Or she did he had these cups
Mm-hmm.
and she tried to get him to mimic what she was doing. So she'll tap the cups together to see if he'll tap the cups together. She'll be like tap, 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 tap. So she's encouraging
Mm-hmm.
language.
Yeah.
Yeah, by making different sounds. So
Nah, that's what's up. That's what's up.
yeah.
And you wouldn't even I mean we've been through so much on this journey already, even though it's just starting, but we wouldn't have this information if we weren't going looking for it. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? If we
right,
weren't
right.
humbling ourselves and not worrying about what it might look like or embarrassment or well, I don't even know if that's the right word, but just us being humble to be like, look, let's help our son get the information.
Mhm.
We don't have all the answers. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? I feel like that's been a theme and a lot of things we've been going through is we don't have the answers
We
for
do not have
everything.
the answers for everything.
We didn't have all the answers for business to make it better. We didn't have all the answers for our personal life. You've been in counseling, I've been in counseling. Like we've been okay identifying problems, but to solution it, we needed help. You know what I'm saying? But that's okay. Everybody needs help sometimes, you know? And if you're not willing to admit that, then the help could be right down the corner, you know what I mean? Right down the street, around the corner, next to you. And you never get it because you're not willing to first say, I need it, you know what I'm saying? And then start taking on the information, you know? Like,
Mhm.
again, like I learned so much going to speech therapy with you that day. I look at everything and it's more, and the good thing is that you could also just see, well, this is what you are doing because we always see what was not happening.
Right.
Like that's in everything. You always see, well, I wish this was happening. It's not happening. It's not happening. But you got so many things to celebrate that is happening, and you can learn the specific things to try to make it better. You know.
Mhm.
So that's what's up. So
Yeah.
he only went right. Friday was his first day.
Mhm.
So we got he just started out.
Yeah.
But no, I'm glad. But you encouraged,
I am.
yeah,
I am.
motivated.
Yep.
That's what's up. I know
Yeah.
that's your boo, so that ain't gonna be no problem. But anyway, stay tuned with us
Yeah, we'll keep
as
you
we'll keep
posted.
you posted as we go through on this journey with our son. But if you guys have been through these journeys with developmental delays or challenges with kids and getting them to go forward faster, speak faster, speech therapy, whatever it is, like drop a comment on the video, like let us know, like hit us up on Instagram, like let us know. We always talk about community. That's why we're doing this. Like life's got ups and downs, and we got to learn how to deal with the ups together, but learn how to go through these downs together. And we're humbly willing to take information from people if you have it, and we share what we have. That's how we get through life. Life is hard, you know what I'm saying? But it's a little easier when we're all working together and sharing these gems and knowledges and experiences with knowledge and experiences with each other. That's how we get through. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Um, what else has been going on this week with you? I know that was a big thing. You said it was two, so that was one.
Oh, the other thing is the onboarding of a new client
Yeah.
and working with the former accountants.
Mm.
It's just been a little tough. That's all. And it's to me, it's a major thing because it's a major transition.
It is. It is.
And the lack of forthcomingness with information,
Mm-hmm.
the lack of willing to work together, like you guys are still getting paid.
Right.
So I
Right.
don't understand what the problem is.
It's been
Like
tough.
you just want to send a file and that's it and just
And just
wipe your hands
wipe your
clean
hands.
and that's not I feel
Crazy.
like it's just very unprofessional and it's
Mm-hmm.
frustrating to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. So it's become probably shouldn't be as major as it is, but I'm trying to get started. Like the end
Yeah.
of the year is a
Yeah.
few months away. I don't
Yeah.
have time for this.
Hey, but you know what? Nah, but it's interesting because, like, listen, a lot of times in our lives, man, we have these relationships, or we have these whether it's business or romantic friendship, whatever it is, we have these connections with people, these quote unquote engagements for real. And then when they break up, sometimes you've been in it so long, or you had so many experiences or whatever, that you think when it ends, it's about to be this big old thing. You guys are gonna work together, try to work with the next person, or try to get to a common ground, or like you think. I know when I left my job one time, I gave them 2 weeks, and I was out in 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like, real talk. I left my job right before my son was born. I was only fan with Randy. Quick story. I was only fan with Randy, talking about, should I put in my resignation? Like, they just put me on these new clients, yada yada yada. I'm sitting there thinking I'm way more important than I was, even though I am important, right? So then I was
Mhm.
like, no, I put my resignation in. I was like, all right, 2 weeks. I'm thinking they would be thankful that I gave it 2 weeks because it was about to be busy. And they was like, hey, well, before we even put anybody on this, you could be out by lunch. And I was gone within two
Just like
hours.
that.
You know what I'm saying? You be married 20 plus years, and then before you know it, all that's left is you signing some papers, and it's done.
That it.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
it's so much work to be together and work together and stay together. But when it don't work, sometimes it be a quick buy, and then your whole life be different. It's changed. So, like, this is the example with this accountant is like that had declined for decades. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? Probably been through so many experiences with them, seeing them grow, seeing them struggle, seeing them lose clients, seeing, you know what I'm saying? But then all of a sudden, hey, business is business. And now you're going to somebody else, and it's like, all right, well, here you go. Here's a file. Bye bye. You know what I'm saying? It kind of makes you wonder, like, you do have to make the best decisions for yourself.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
don't owe people what you think.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you don't owe these long standing connection. Like, if it's not working for you anymore and it's not right for you, it's okay to move on. And it's okay, and have that expectation that people might move on faster than you think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what be hard for people. You don't think that person's gonna move on just like that. But sometimes they do. And I think with that, it's been like, wow, that's how quickly and lack of care you want to have in the success and the transition of this. It's
Mhm.
just like, here you go, get out of here type of thing. And you can
Yeah.
feel it. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? So that has been disappointing, concerning. I feel like it's gonna leave us with a lot more work to do than's needed.
Absolutely. And tax season is upon us.
I know. So we almost have to, like, cut the cord, even if it is problems, and try to go forward. You know what I'm saying? But I think that there's probably information we will never get clearly unless somebody's gonna sit down and explain it to us.
Well, see, that's what I thought.
That's the problem. That's the problem.
Like y'all are getting paid, so I don't see what the problem is. But
Unless it's
anyway, hey,
unless hey, I don't want to
I don't
explain.
want to
I don't
explain
want to
nothing.
explain nothing to you. So, you know what I'm saying. But that's the negative side. But hey, business has all types of aspects and things, and it's challenging sometimes. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
And that's just one challenge. But when it comes to business, for anybody that has not followed our podcast so far, you have to know that me and Randy have not one, not two, but three. Three, I got it right today. We got three businesses, which is beautiful. You know what I mean? You heard all about Basden and accounting already from Randy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
We got another business, Quiet Money Corporation, which is what's the umbrella to our podcast. You know what I'm saying? And the third one, Randy, what's
that's
that?
you.
That's me,
Triangle
Triangle Soccer
Soccer
Academy.
Academy.
We got a soccer school, so I'm a soccer coach, and we pretty much take players from old teams and we teach them to be better soccer players. You can go back to your team, you can play for one of our teams, but Triangle, Bermuda Triangle, everybody that know from Bermuda, you know what I mean? But Triangle Soccer Academy, TSA, we want to take your play and make them better, teach them more skills so that they become a better player for whoever they play for. So we got three businesses, you know. Now, with business, what I'll talk about a little bit today is that we just talked about a challenging time in transitioning from another accountant, but what has some really good things happen lately in our business, specifically around relationships with people. And I want to talk about that today. So, the advice for you guys is look, business is business, right? It really is. But the advice for you today is that it's okay for you to treat your clients as more than just a means for you to get money. They're people, they're professionals just like you, but they're also people. And underneath all of this business and transactions and money exchanging, you're dealing with real people that's got real emotions, real experiences. And the way that Randy and I run our business is we really, really care. I think that's what makes us different. Like we really care about the people that we help. All right. We might be giving you accounting advisory services, but like we look to connect with people. We look to understand them. We look to support their dreams. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what advisory gives you also because somebody's telling you how they want to get better and you're right there with them. So you're like invested a little bit because you want to see them do well. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
you're doing better together. So anyway, treating your clients as more than just money and really supporting their dreams is something that we love to do. The second part of this week that correlates with that is we went out to lunch with one of our clients,
Mhm.
and I've been talking a lot as usual, but why don't you break it down? Tell us about lunch, how that got set up, because you set everything up. Tell us a little bit about what we did, where we went, how the day was for you. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
so the thing is, I had been trying to get a meeting with this client and he's very busy. So I just happened to call him cuz he had missed one of our meetings and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I was like, "You want to do lunch?" Let's have a lunch meeting. He said that this week would be perfect because somebody that he works with was gone. So his Friday was going to be light. So we set it up at a nice Italian restaurant, one of Dex and my favorite restaurants, not too far from here. And we had a good meal, good
Are you
conversation.
plugging the restaurant today?
No, because I don't need everybody knowing where we stay
All right.
at. Although, I mean, the internet, it probably wouldn't even be that
It
hard to
probably,
find
I
anyway.
mean,
But anyway, we yeah, but it's a nice like white tablecloth kind of vibe place. So it's kind of fancy, but
hmm
you can come in there regularly dressed. Like you can come in there in athletic wear and be fine.
hmm
So the food is pretty good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like B plus,
Yeah, yeah,
B
yeah.
B plus. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
And yeah, we just all three had a nice meal, nice business conversations,
hmm
and yeah, it went
hmm
good.
I
Yeah.
think I think so too. And
Yeah.
yeah, the food was good. I got a drink. Drink was good. You know what I mean? But we were laughing the whole time.
We laughed
So
the
this is a
whole
client that
time.
what connected with, like I would say to our client, but and a lot of people may disagree and they'd be like, business is business and you can't have friendships in business. I would disagree. It depends how you do things because you can have business with someone you consider a friend. You just wear different hats. And I want to talk about that for a second because 1 minute in that conversation, we had on a business hat for a little while, right? They
Yep,
was
I had my
talking.
little slides. I
Yeah,
don't
you.
even think you You
I knew you.
saw him,
I
yeah.
didn't see him, but I saw you getting in your fin or something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I had my slides.
Right. So like that whole conversation we had with this client, 1 minute we're talking about the accounting, 1 minute we're talking about taxes, what's changing in the business, what the future looks like, car that they want to buy, what's that gonna mean for taxes, how much they paying themselves, like all types of important things about business. And the business hat was fully on, and they were asking us questions like, well, what should I do to make my income better by the end of the year or next year, or depreciation? Like,
Mhm.
I don't know if you noticed, but we really was jumping around a mix of business and being prepared for technical questions versus just life. Like our kids, we should take a trip sometime, like we should get all of the kids together and do this. And they was giving us advice on low vacation spots. And I was talking about my 40th birthday coming up next year. And like it was like a mix of different hats.
Yeah.
So you can do everything, you know. But one of the things that stood out to me from that conversation, and why I tell you guys like it is okay to allow your clients to mean more to you, because I've been having some challenges lately. You know what I'm saying? A lot of tough things in my life. Parents getting divorced, my mother being mentally ill, trying to figure out what to do with my family to even help with these situations. My grandfather slowing down with like Parkinson's and having him around, and trying to just help everybody. And a lot of times when you try to help everybody, you don't have much left for yourself, you know. And here it is. This is my client, like I said, and he starts tapping into me about being willing to be there for me as a friend. And
That was
he
very
that
nice.
and you don't say that to everybody. So he was sitting there just like, look, and he said something to me that I have to highlight because he's a man, I'm a man. He was just like, you know, sometimes as men, we gotta make it okay to be in that safe space with each other and to let each other know like I'm not doing so well. He said, you know, he learned, and I think it was great advice, but he said that he learned that it's okay for somebody to come up and ask you, you know, how you're doing, and you don't give them that token answer like I'm fine. You know what I'm saying? You can let them know, well, I'm not doing too well right now, but I'll be okay. He says you got to open up that space to be honest like that. You know what I mean? You don't got to tell everybody all your business, but like it's okay to say that out loud, even to yourself. Like I'm not okay right now. It could be better. I'm struggling with some things. A lot of men don't say that. We don't got the time to even go there and admit that. But he looked me right in my eye and he was just like, look, if you ever need anything, you know, like just we could just talk. That's what I believe has happened because of how we do business. You know what I'm saying? And I had to the point where I had forgot that he's actually been to my country and we hung out with him in Bermuda. I forgot that. I forgot that the same person I'm in business with has been in my country, hanging out, having lunch at the beach. Remember the guy on the beach with the perfect body? Now, hold on. Sidebar. You remember the guy at the beach
Yes,
with the
I
perfect
remember.
body? Have you talked about that before? I
No.
don't know. Listen, real quick, then. Real quick. I can't. I just didn't bring it up. Me and Randy years ago were at the beach in Bermuda. We were at what was it? Pink Beach. Oh, well, where was it?
I wouldn't know the beach
It
because
was
it was at a hotel.
right. I'm forgetting the hotel. It might come to me, but anyway, we're at this hotel and we're having lunch, and then we guys go swimming. Right at the bottom, there's the beach and everything. We go swimming, and we were swimming in the water. And I kid you not, I'm a heterosexual male. I'm married. Like I love woman, chill. You know what I'm saying? I love my woman. But me and Randy swimming in the water, then, and we look up, and it's this guy standing on the beach. And I swear to God, this dude's body was so perfect, done. It make you mad. It's like everybody else,
Everybody
e-
was looking.
everybody on the beach was
Male,
looking
female.
male.
It's like slow
Oh my
motion.
God! Like it didn't matter how old you were, young you were. Like everybody else faded to like he was just standing there, perfection, absolute perfection. Look. All I wanted to do was dip back down in the water till the water was up to my neck. This guy's body, dog, was perfect. Man, I'm never seeing nothing like it. Not muscle head, too muscular,
Mm-mm.
not no stubborn belly fat. No stubborn belly fat. But I mean, and it's just and I don't know if he knew it, but he was like standing on the beach a little longer than normal. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like, what are you doing? Like, are you playing, making a some freaking sandcastle or something? Like, but he was just standing there in all of his glory, done. And I just would never forget, like, done. This is crazy. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, back to your story. Back to what we were talking about. That's a little sidebar. But anyway, when we was at this hotel and the beach with the perfect man and all that, we were hanging out, and I completely forgot that. You know what I'm saying? Completely forgot that we had hung out before. And your boy even invited me to go hiking, which I don't know if I'll go hiking, but he does guys trips and he bikes, and he just invited me to these things, and I was like, that was dope, and I felt like he meant that. You know what I'm saying? And on top of all of that, even though he's a client of ours, that's another man that's married, that's taking care of his kids, and wants the best for his family's future. And I respect that. I feel that because I'm the same way. My family, my kids mean everything to me. So I don't know his kids like that or whatever, but when he's talking about what he wants for his son as he gets older, and he's talking about the fact that, hey, we're getting older, we got to start thinking about wheels, and like I feel that because he's like a version of me. We got the same values,
Mm-hmm.
and all of this is happening while we're in business together, and that's the beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? So do both hats well. Be a great businessman, businesswoman, but you could be a great friend too. And the experience comes with what hat do we put on, and putting on the right hat at the right time and doing the right things. But some people don't have them skills,
Right.
so they look at it like, oh, business. I can't be friends with this. No, like that's a human. That person that you're in business with right now that's about to send you a check might be the person that has that perfect advice to how to get through your parents' divorce, how to get through your physical problems, mental stress, or you don't even know that the client you got is the one that's got a child with development delays, just like you.
Mm-hmm.
You would never get no gain from them if all they was business to you. It's like crazy how we all connect in life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I really enjoyed that. You know what I mean? I won't stay on it too long, but a big shout out to him. I want to see him win. You know what I mean? We had some transparent conversations,
Mm-hmm.
very transparent. You know what I'm saying? But it was dope. It was real dope, and that stuck with me. That stood out to me. I was like, yeah, I
Yeah.
appreciate that
But that
for
it
real.
doesn't work with everybody though.
Of
Like
course not. Of
the
course not. Of course not. But here's the thing: it doesn't change us,
no.
but we do recognize, like, oh, you don't need that hat. You know what I mean? So you can be both, but you recognize which when to do it.
Right, right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? Because
Yeah.
some people might take advantage of it too,
Mm-hmm.
but that's not his. Not one of them. I could tell that. You know what I'm saying? But we become the same. But here's the on top of that, though, you made a good point. You know who to do it with, but we would have been more exposed to being burned or not having a good situation with somebody trying to wear both hats the way we used to do business.
Oh yeah, we was thirsty.
Yeah. So now we have true advisory relationships with people and business and clients. We're there talking to them all the time. We're learning what they do and what they're looking to do all the time. And we have less clients. So that's why we can connect with them in a different way.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like we're advisors. You trust your financial advisor. You talk to your financial advisor. You share things with your advisor. Your accountant may not always get that.
Oh yeah.
The accountant sometimes is way over here crunching numbers in the background. They're not even involved in the day to day.
Yeah.
But we are. You know what I'm
And it's
saying?
exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I look forward to working now.
Yeah.
And I really hope to onboard our former client
Me
who's going to
too.
be returning as an advisory client.
How you feel about that? Because I didn't think. Well, hold on, let's knock on something. But I know they ain't signed yet. But what do you think about? Because I know we've been looking at this like people that was under the old way, they're going. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like it says a lot about you because you worked with this client a
Mhm.
lot. I think it says a lot about the way you work that they're even 90% there and coming back to us in
Yeah.
this new way. So how you
Yeah,
feel about it? You
I
excited,
feel
nervous, worried they might
yes.
not come? What you think?
I'm worried. No, he's coming. He's
Okay.
coming. He's a man of his word. And for me, it's exciting because I didn't know. Like he told me, he was like, "Y'all spoiled me," and I didn't know that. I felt like I could be doing more, or I should be doing more. Maybe I'm not doing enough. When I was with him, like I had when I was with him, when he was our client.
Okay.
I had second guessed myself so many times.
Right, right.
And there were times when I would do things that we would have conversations and I would think, man, I should be getting paid for this. This is good advice right here.
Hmm.
But was afraid
Yeah.
to invoice them or even talk about being compensated for my advice. So
Hmm.
knowing that I bring value and I can help his business, and because of things that I did in the past, like he wants to come back.
Yeah, yeah.
He's like, yeah, I want you on my team. And
Hmm.
he's in a different place now too. His
Hmm.
company has grown, making more money. Um, Lost a partner, and if she's got a different business now too. Same industry, but just a different way of doing things. And I just feel honored that he chose me.
That's what's
Yeah,
up,
yeah,
man.
yeah. But he'll be getting the whole team.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it's
But that trust is still there
that
with you.
trust is still
That's
there.
that's that's
Yeah.
the equity right
Yeah.
there.
But
You
I
see.
need that though, because
Yeah.
I need to know I'm doing a good job. Like sometimes I lack confidence, and
Mhm.
it's just, yeah, I struggle sometimes
Yeah.
believing that I'm great at what I do. But
Mhm.
something like that is confirmation like, "Oh, you coming back and you going to pay this?"
Right, right.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yes.
Mhm.
So, but he's one of those guys too that we have a real good relationship. We
Yeah.
talk about work, we talk about family. Like y'all have the same values. I
Mhm.
think we might be attracting,
Yeah.
yeah,
But that's
people
all
like
right.
us.
That's
Yeah.
all right. You talk about your confidence and how that's changing. It's one I weren't even thinking about this until you just said what you said, but we did have another client meeting where you talked about like you talked about HR a little bit to start the
I
podcast. You didn't
did.
really get into it, but you came prepared for this call that we
I
have,
was.
and you started to share something that I didn't necessarily know you was gonna share. And you kind of presented a whole option to him that he ended up loving. So why don't we
Mhm.
talk about that a little bit, just a little bit. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
first of all, let me just say I have no experience with HR.
Hmm.
So if somebody were to ask me like anything, like accounting, HR, accounting and taxes and pay, like it's not really related to me. Well, maybe the payroll aspect, but like when it comes to HR, I play a small, tiny role, which would be payroll. And the only reason I'm doing payroll is because this business owner in particular doesn't trust anybody.
Hmm.
So, um, basically his HR person resigned and we need a solution. And the way things have been in the past, it's like it's too many components for me just to get to the payroll done. It's like you need input from this person, that person, and then it's on an Excel spreadsheet. Then we got to convert it into the system. And I'm like, you know what? Working with you, Dex, has made me want to look more at the process and clean it up
Right, right.
so that as the company grows, we already have a strong foundation. So I said, I'm about to find a solution for everything.
Hmm.
Because in the prior meeting, we had talked about some employees clock in, some employees don't. Like, listen, we need to make my job easier. And
Right,
we need
right.
to, because the HR representative that they had, I just thought that the process was like from the 1990s. Like, why are we still handwriting stuff on paper and scanning it? Like, there has to be a solution.
Hmm.
So, pretty much, I did a little bit of research and I found a solution. And this solution has the employee, like, why do I need to type in your social security number, your address, and all that stuff? Like, you should be able to type it in yourself, put in your direct deposit yourself, upload your identifying information, passport, birth certificate, whatever it is, sign all that stuff electronically. So, yeah. So I kind of thought about, like, for me, like how I would want to work, and then I thought about it as an employee, like what would make it easier for me. I don't want to sign stuff.
Right,
I
right.
want to, yeah, make it a seamless transition. So found a solution, and I was like, okay. So then I set up a meeting with the representative of the company and had them walk me through it, because I've been working with him for so long. I already know he's going to ask a million questions. So I'm like, does it do this? Can the employee clock in? Does it have a geo fence where it knows if you clocked in off the property? Because you nowadays you can clock in from your phone.
Right, right, right.
So I asked all the questions. He had all the right answers. And I said, all right, let's go.
Right.
So yeah.
That's
So I
what's up.
presented it, and yeah, he loved
He
it.
loved
He
it.
loved it.
He loved it. If I remember right, he was like, "I'm so glad you did this because this is exactly what I'm looking
That's
for."
exactly, that was his words. That's exactly what I was looking for.
Hmm.
And I was like, thank you, Lord. Because I didn't know that, but with the advisory, I have to give 100%.
Right.
Like, I have to, like, you're paying me a lot of money, first of all,
Yeah.
and I have to deliver.
Yeah.
I have to.
Yeah.
And it was good because now I've provided value to the company, and the company is going to be so much better. And because of my relationship with the sales representative, I got a discount on some other stuff.
That's what's up, man. That's
Yeah.
what's up. But see, hey, look, but that's a couple of things happening right there because that's your number one, that's your experience, like you said, working with this client. You know what I'm saying? And you know what level of information they're gonna need to feel comfortable with anything you propose. You know what I'm saying? But then you also changed your business where you know what your worth is, but like you said, you gotta deliver. And we talked about that on prior episodes, which is the branding has to be right. You know what I'm saying? Like we have to meet our brand. So like if we're a specialized company and we're at a certain price point, you have to get that experience. Like nobody's gonna want to go buy a BMW, for example, as soon as you drive off the lot, the freaking rim comes off the tire. That doesn't make sense. Like that can happen with any car, but when you buy a BMW or a Mercedes or whatever the car is, you know what I'm saying? Luxury as you go up. It's certain things you wouldn't expect, like because of what you're paying for, quality. So that's a piece of it. But then you do your research. You don't have all the answers. You see what I'm saying? So you go and get the information, check all of them boxes. But then my favorite part, which is where you changed, is that you came and delivered it.
Yeah.
You didn't come to me.
No, I didn't.
Right. Do you know what I'm saying? Like
I didn't.
I'm just saying, you didn't come to me with all this information and think that I had to frame it up
Right.
to present it.
Right.
And that's why it hit harder. To be honest with you,
Mm-hmm.
I know you'd be like, oh, you know how to talk well. Like, cool, I appreciate that. But when we know and what did the research ourselves and what got the information, you just speak to it differently. So you're the one that made the phone call. You're the one that got the information on the HR. It hit
Yeah.
harder because you said it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That's dope. But I do remember a time that you would have not did it like that. You would have been
No.
like, "Hey, I learned all this. Can What do you think? I'm
Right.
nervous. I don't
Right.
want to say it, or maybe I shouldn't say it." Like you would have been through that whole thing.
Yeah. And you know what else I've noticed too?
What's that?
I'm okay with saying I don't have the answer,
Hmm.
because that's how I got to this point. I'm like, I don't have the answer for your HR problem, but let me look into some things and I'll get back to you.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with advisory. Like, we don't have to always have a presentation, and we don't always have to have the answer.
Right.
But I know how to get it. I'm gonna
Right.
find you the answer.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, you're right. But here's the thing: that's confidence, that's experience, but that's also knowing that what we're providing is impactful. It really matters. So taking these because we all deal with like self perception problems, right? Like we
Hmm.
don't want to look a certain type of way. So you could look at it the other way and be like, hey, they're paying me this amount of money. I'm supposed to have the answer. Like I don't want to look some way if I don't have the answer. But we know that the most important thing now is giving them the right answer. You know what I mean? Sometimes things are simple. Somebody needs information, you give them the right information, not the information you think is right or the information that you're giving them because you just want to have an answer right now and you don't want them to look whatever all the blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? But like, no, I'm your advisor. My advice has to stick. It has to be the right information. That's a risk that we're not
Mm-hmm.
taking as much anymore.
Right, right.
So I appreciate that you're doing that, but it makes us better as a company because what happens when you're taking less risk? You're gonna have less problems. You're gonna have less mistakes because you're actually taking the time to make sure I'm not delivering nothing to my client that I haven't vetted out first and I'm really confident in it.
Right.
And that's where we're at now. That's why we're better. Little things like that
Yeah.
is making us better. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Not and a lot of times you don't realize like your client doesn't necessarily need or want you to have the answer on the spot. They just don't want no surprises. They don't want it to be wrong.
Yeah.
When it's wrong, it's wrong. And that's
Mm-hmm.
hard to deal with. That's a
Been there,
whole nut.
done that.
You see what I'm saying? That but they don't need to walk. Oh, I was able to call my accountant, and 2 minutes later they had the answer. And I'm no, they just want to know that you gave them really really good advice. That's what they pay you for,
Yeah.
and they respect. Hey, I'm gonna get right back to you in the next meeting, and then when we get back to them, we present it to them, and I like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we're doing more sharing than presenting anyway. It's a two-way conversation. You know what I mean? A lot of times, if you got on the call with your client and you're talking for 15 minutes straight and they're not talking back, that's not even true advisory
Yeah.
because they may not be engaged. They may not even be understanding. It might be too much, too complicated. So they should be asking and talking and telling you things. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's up, man.
Yeah.
But no, I was proud of you, though. I
Thank
was real
you.
proud of you. And I was like, yes. You know, that was one of the moments I was like, yes. You know what I
Oh.
mean? Because I knew we had the takeaway for you to look at the pay, the HR stuff, but I didn't know you was gonna come with all of that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you came with a whole solution. Like I was talking about, can we go run this spreadsheet? You know what I mean? You kind of gave me the low key uppercut, but I was sitting there like, hey, we got to do payroll this week. Like, let's go create our own spreadsheet, make the other spreadsheet better. You just like, hold on. What if we just don't do that?
I'm so tired of that spreadsheet.
You know, like, what if I don't do that? I learned we may not be able to implement it right away, but I learned that we could do all of this, and I'm sitting back just taking it in, and I'm like, yes, that's all I was
Yeah.
thinking. I was
But I
like,
do
yes,
want to get better at presenting and speaking,
but you are
and
getting better.
I am. I
Hmm.
am. But I want to be more confident in me getting better.
Okay, that's what's
I
up.
want to be more intentional about that.
That's
Like
what's up.
I would do like a speaking class or
Hmm.
something. Just no, I mean, don't have to be anything. Like I don't
Right,
need to go
right,
to a
right.
college course or anything, but
Yeah.
just some of the things like I say or I
Hmm.
say like I'm aware of it.
Yeah,
So
that's all right.
yeah, and I feel like sometimes it takes me a little bit longer to get to my thoughts and to formulate sentences, but
Hmm.
it be like that sometimes.
It
I
do.
still love myself. I ain't
That's
perfect, and what?
it.
I ain't afraid to admit it either.
Ain't gotta be. And
Yeah.
you know what? I don't know how many people be as real as us about things. We be real, real. You don't come on this podcast and just hear us telling you the 5 ways to do this. Like
Nah, I'm
we
gonna
go
say my
way
flaws
different.
so that
Yeah.
if you try to like say something bad about me, I'm like, yeah, we already
I
know.
already shared it.
I've
Like, all
shared
right.
that. Okay.
Nah, that's what's up. That's what's up, man. So what else is what we doing the rest of the what we doing going forward? I know we running out of time, you know what I'm saying? But what else last little part of it that's on your mind? We've been talking a lot about business today. A lot about relationships with clients and making it more than just money, which I think is the main thing today. The main lesson,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But anything else on your mind or as we close out?
I just would like a plan
Okay.
for the next 2 months
Okay.
of like we have a lot to tackle. And I know we've
Mm.
talked about this a little bit, but see the you
It's
see
all
it like
right. It's all
I'm so
right.
aware
It's
of
all
it.
right.
But like the things that we have to handle for your mom's divorce, for the legal matters,
Mhm.
things regarding this house,
It'd be
and
a
just
lot.
yeah, and just like we just got a whole bunch of like paperwork,
Mhm.
and then the transition of the onboarding of the clients, and
Yeah.
I feel like it's a very administrative
Season
season.
right now. A little. Hopefully, it's a short season.
Hopefully.
Yeah, but divorce is. I've never been divorced, but it'd be a lot to figure out
Hmm.
after the fact. You know what I mean? I didn't have that appreciation of how much has to get done afterwards, because your
Yeah.
whole life is set up and executed with two people. So when it settles, what happens afterwards, right? We got all these debts you got to pay off. You got to get insurance. Maybe you got to apply for Social Security or other benefits. If you're married to somebody that was in the government, you got other stuff going on. What was you
Hmm.
left with? Was you left with a house? Was you left with a car? Was you left with a trike, a tricycle? You know what I'm saying? Was you left with alimony? Was you left with a piece? I'm not paying you a damn thing.
Where
Like,
you gonna live?
where are you gonna live at? You know what I mean? Do you got all your clothes? Do you still want them clothes? Who gets the pots? Who gets the pans? Who gets that favorite picture in the living room that everybody liked?
Right,
Like,
right.
it's so much stuff where it's like, yo, I gotta figure all of this out. And unfortunately, even though your heart is broken and your life is ending as you knew it, no one else that has financial obligations with you or talk, no one else cares. Nobody, it's crazy. Nobody else cares. They're not gonna say, hey, you know, you're getting divorced, so I'm gonna give you a 3 month break on the light bill for the house y'all used to live at because I understand how hard it is. You know what I'm saying? Or, hey, that car payment, being that you and your honey's trying to figure out who keeps the car, just take a little 3 months off of the payment and let the dust settle. They don't do that. You know what I'm
Nah.
saying? It's just it keeps on going. You know what I mean? So it's just like life be lifing, and right
Hmm.
now we are in the administrative season of trying to transfer this big client, like you said, helping my mother just executing the post divorce steps. But I love my mama. I'm gonna be there to do it. You know what I mean? I appreciate how appreciate you helping with that, you leading that. You know what I mean? I know every time we fight, you throw it up in my face and behind me to do it on my end, but that's a whole nother story. You know what I'm saying?
I hadn't said that for a while, but
Hey, yo, y'all don't listen. Yeah,
last week I did
listen.
say it. I hadn't said it for a while
This
though.
sweet woman on this podcast, she will let you have it if it don't go right. I would just leave it right there. But she'll let you know, oh, you got a problem? Well, all these things that I be doing for you, you can do them yourself. That's her thing.
I
You
don't
know what
mean
I'm
that
saying?
though. But I mean it in a moment because I was
Well,
mad.
if you don't mean it, when you say it, it's very believable. You know what I'm saying? It's very believable. Though. But anyway, we can end with that. You know what I'm saying? We can chop it right there. Anyway, to anybody who's been listening to our podcast, if you enjoyed our show today, make sure you follow the Dex and Randi Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, we on YouTube, we on Instagram, Dex and Randi Show. Make sure you follow us. If you enjoyed it, share it. You know what I mean? That's how we grow and we just go through the ups and downs of life together in this community. We appreciate y'all listening to us. And until next time, peace. Make sure you follow the Dex and Randi Show on all platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, on YouTube. Let us know what you're going through. This is the number one show for going through the ups and downs of life. We want to hear from you, engage with you. Till next time, peace.